when the anomaly occurred, we split into two fragments of ourselves. We seem to have been reset a short time.
Did you find John? And what did he say?
He's willing to help.
Wonderful.
Thankfully, John does speak the language of violence very well, and I can be a very threatening individual.
Revenant, we'll be off the grounds of the Colosseum today. Today might just be the day we take action.
We'll get the potions so that we can sneak into the Colosseum, and we'll break them out. But once we do, leaving the city is probably going to be on our very immediate to-do list. Okay, yeah, 4 more, but 2 different people, a man and a woman, who are very platonic and have no relation to one another whatsoever and no interest in each other.
Welcome back, foundlings, to another episode of the Gate Chronicles. This is Chronicle 1, Chapter 85. My name is Emily, and I'm your game master and host for this series, session, episode, editor, all those things, and more. And today, I'm joined at the table by my 2 only players. So go ahead and introduce yourselves, boys.
And there's me, Jaden, and I play Finavir, a lost merchant who's looking to find his family and find himself along the way.
And it's me, the always high energy Quentin Ott, your standard.
It's so low energy. Please give me a little more, Quentin.
And then there's me.
Quentin, no. I don't need S at the table at all times. But I'm glad you could join us.
Character.
I'm glad you could join us, S.
Oh, and me. I've been here the whole time. I am none other than Quentin Ott, who plays the oh-so-lovable yet curmudgeon-y
Charles Smoot, 57-year-old biology teacher, born and raised in upstate New York, currently ready to bash some skulls and rescue his friends.
I have a question. You said upstate New York.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mean Boston? Boston, New York?
No, I don't mean Boston, New York.
Maybe it's an Albany expression.
You know, no one ever asked me what city I'm from before, but I did. I researched cities in New York so I could find one that has a decently large high school that he would be a high school teacher at. And I even had the name of the high school prepared at one point. That way, just in case anyone asked me, what school do you work at? I had an answer. But that was also like 4 years ago.
You know what? I'm going to make sure somebody asks you that while you don't have the book.
I will be livid and they'll just be throat punched.
Yeah. You better research your thing because, one day we're just going to spring it on you. Bam. We're doing an AMA.
Yeah. It's like whenever we ask Finavir, like, hey, where are you from? And he can immediately just spit out.
Taba.
Good job, Jaden.
You did it right.
Yay.
Grew up with his best friend Fallon that died in a deer accident.
Yeah. They never even got to the bear.
Yep.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a bear accident. It was a deer accident.
No, it was an elk accident.
Very embarrassing. I don't need to talk about that.
Gored to death, man.
At least I didn't stab myself in the thigh with my own spear, okay?
Well, dealing with frogs.
Well, dealing with frogs. It wasn't just, it was an frog. Don't pluralize it like there was a swarm. It was one singular frog.
No, it was one singular frog.
I think that...
He tried to just stab a single frog.
Oh,
and
that.
Failed.
Oh, I remember that.
And then he crit failed. And he stabs himself in the leg with his own spear.
And Finavir thought that he was correct, that the frog did that to him.
Yeah.
And sung the tale of his praises for defeating the frog.
Honestly, I don't know why Finavir hasn't told anyone that story yet.
It's a great story.
It should come back up. All right.
Deep cut.
So, let's get started. They have a plan. Sort of. Charles Smoot and Finavir will work in conjunction with John-Xavier and a small cohort of rebels in order to rescue the captives held within the Colosseum's underground cells. And that's all my notes for the session for the day. So good luck, gentlemen. I'm kidding. No, I do have notes. And we do happen to be starting not with where we are with the music. So, gentlemen, it is the eve of your rescue. The same day that John stopped in at Mrs. Potts' Tavern and Teas, is the day that the Order Knight has been called away. And having made your plans with John to infiltrate this Colosseum area, you are now in East District. You've been hanging out in the slums over here. You've been given, like I said, vague plans of how it's going to go down. But mainly, it's get into the compound and get out. Simple enough?
Sounds it.
Yeah.
So tell me, what do you do? What is your plan of action? As you can see the Colosseum just off in the distance, and you notice that there seems to be a small group of guard that patrol the area every so often. Make a perception check. How about that?
Oh, that's a good idea. Let's see where John's going and if we miss him. 26 for Charles Smoot.
You're looking for John?
Are we not? I don't think we're on the same page.
No,
that's why I did ask. What's your plan? What's going on here?
You said that this is the eve of the adventure, which means it's happening tomorrow.
I said it was the eve. I meant the eve is nigh.
Oh.
This is the eve.
Yeah,
Okay.
It may be Christmas Eve, but we have got to go to Christmas Eve dinner.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right?
this is-
Our presents are the friends we find along the way.
Oh, well, let's go get that treasure.
The eve of.
Yeah.
Evening.
Yes. The breakout is happening now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Finn would totally come along.
Yeah. Okay, now we're all on the same page.
I was using eve as a shortened version of
See,
evening.
Jaden, remember what we learned earlier today. You can't take what M says literally.
The meaning of eve is evening. FYI.
I don't think we're taking it literally enough.
Apparently. I don't know.
Wait, what?
English is very hard.
Merriam-Webster says the meaning of eve is evening. So why does it say on the eve of? It means the evening before?
I thought it was the mother of all. So on the mother of all heists.
We are there on the mother of all heists. Does Charles Smoot see where John-Xavier is going? Stop getting distracted with Eve.
I will abstain in this perception check.
She's going down an Eve rabbit hole.
It is raining in Daija.
Ooh.
As the rain comes down, Charles Smoot, you see the silhouetted figures of guards marching around the area. And you swear you catch a glimpse of some shadowy figures off nearby to your right side, kind of just out of view.
Charles will look back at Finn and gesture for him to be quiet, but then tug at his shirt and point over where the other individuals are lurking, indicating that may be our best point of entry. Can we go and investigate them further? Is it John and his crew?
Would you like to approach?
I would love to. And maybe get caught. And campaign over, get recaptured.
Sounds like an adventure.
Sounds like an adventure.
Yeah, we have capitalized on fun. We monopolize it here.
How would you like to approach? As I said, you saw what appeared to be guards marching in the rain, but it's hard for you to really make out who is who, as this is a deluge of water that is pouring down. Perfect timing, just happenstantially started raining out of nowhere.
Or John controls the weather.
You don't know that.
Yeah.
We don't know that he doesn't do that.
Yeah. Somewhere, John with a snow globe.
So yeah, Charles Smoot will make his way over to the shadowy figures in the right-hand side of the corner.
So you start moving.
Confidently.
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 Confidence is key, because if you act like you're supposed to be there, no one will question you.
So making your way over there, Finavir tailing behind, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just assume that Finn is tailing behind.
At all times.
Yeah.
Until he says he isn't.
Unless Smoot says he tries to break him off or something like that.
Certainly. You move over to this group of shadowed individuals, and you do see that it seems to be about 4 people in total, and one including what appears to be the disguised version of John. Oh, hey, glad you guys can make it.
Yeah, thanks for telling us where you were going.
I figured you'd figure it out.
Well, apparently we did, but now we're just taking us half an hour to get started.
What?
Well, we're here.
And that's all that matters.
Right. He kind of just looks out. Seems they make a rotation about every 10 minutes. So, luckily, once they're past that line, we're pretty good to get in. When you guys were coming out from in the Colosseum, how was the sentry at that time?
Did you notice anything? Or where they were positioned at all?
You know, in hindsight, these would be particular details that would be very important to make note of. When we were there before Finn escaped, I can tell you quite specifically that when the second level where we were being kept underneath the area where the Toto were, there were 2 guards playing like cards at a table, and then there was like one young buck constantly doing circles around our cages.
Yeah.
But after we broke out, who knows what Revenant did to the guards?
All right. And they're making the way, and they're out of sight. Luckily, they're not expecting anyone else to try and break out, since I guess you 2 troublemakers aren't there anymore. But once we're inside, you go find your party, and me and my group will be getting the others.
Sounds good.
All right, let's go.
Right.
Chun, 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 chun.
So actually, John just runs with his group ahead quickly to the opening of the Colosseum underground, seeing that the guard is not there.
If he's running, then there's no reason to stealth, so I would just buck after him.
It sounds like time is of the essence. We have 10 minutes, so we make the best of the most clear time that we have.
Yeah.
You make it to the entryway of this primary tunnel. Go ahead and make perception checks.
I love those.
Let's go 18.
Let's go 27.
Ooh, that sounds better than mine.
Hey, you just rolled low. You rolled a 6.
Looking down this long tunnel, you see as it delves slightly underground, obviously making space above for the seating, but you don't see any guards along the main portions. Finavir, you see that there's plenty of light in the tunnels, and Charles, you notice that there are multiple branching pathways to the sides. And you know that some of these may lead into other antechambers, and others could be tunnels themselves, but it's hard for you to know exactly if anyone is waiting down there. But you guys specifically do know the way to your group's location, having traversed at least once before, though potentially, if there is a group of individuals blocking the way, you may have to find another route, worst case scenario.
So I guess we start descending.
Okay.
I was just trying to remember the name of the guy who guided us through last time.
Seraphius.
Seraphius, yeah.
Yeah. He's not here.
I hope he's doing all right.
No.
I mean, he's doing all right now.
He's doing all right for now.
As you approach to one of the first pathways that branch off to the right and left, John stops.
We're going to take this way first. Just to avoid any unwanted eyes. However, I do have an idea of where the people that we need to get are. Do you know how to get to your group?
Past the stinky Dota pit and down, there are some cells. To the right by a box of stuff.
We were shown the way the last time we were here. I think we should be fine.
All right, good. Try to be quick and go as unnoticed as possible. All right, good luck. And we'll see you guys out on the outside, I guess.
Right.
Would it be a survival check in order to recall how to get where we were?
Certainly, if you would like to do so with perfection.
I do like knowing where I'm going. So a total 31 for Charles Smoot's survival, and of course we are being super sneaky, super stealth, with an 11 for Charles Smoot's stealth. True in character, he knows where he's going quite loudly.
So does everyone else. All right, so my turn for stealth. 27. A little better than 11.
Yeah, see, the problem is with stealth, it's not an average. It's the lowest common denominator. It's the lowest denominator.
Okay. You both are sneaking your way through this tunnel system.
Some more successfully than others.
More successfully than others. Though it seems strangely barren, as you would have expected there to be an increase in security in this vicinity as a result of the attempted breakout from earlier. It seems possible that the lack of Revenant's presence may have led to a slight lax in the guard. All right, can you guys see your characters?
Yes.
Oh my gosh!
You know, now that I'm looking at the map, I know exactly where it is.
But what if this is an alternate timeline?
Oh, well, it is. So that's hard.
We claim to be from the future, but from the wrong timeline.
You finally arrive to the area that you recall being led down initially when you were taken down to your cells the first time. You can hear the sound of distant voices kind of crying, and there's weeping, as if there are more people down here than previously.
Seems they fill vacancies awful quick down here. They probably don't have your room available.
I mean, hopefully, whatever they fill it with, it just doesn't get in our way.
Finn, as quietly as possible, will try to say, slow down. Your very long legs.
Speed up. We're trying to do this quickly.
Point taken.
And as you guys are getting closer, go ahead and roll another perception check.
17.
17.
That's really funny.
We were meant to not see.
You hear the low grumbling sound of a beast nearby.
Okay, that could be Drake, so let's, not piss him off.
And you guys hear the sound of footsteps as they seem to be approaching closer in your direction.
Nowhere to hide now, is there?
From which direction?
It appears to be from beyond the gate.
Okay, then Charles Smoot is going to just get as close to the wall as possible so that he limits the visibility through the gateway.
Sure. It looks like it's an open archway, so you can kind of see beyond it what appears to be the red garb of a guard that is walking by, as if they are patrolling the area.
If I remember correctly, there's one guy who made a big loop. Took him 3 to 4 minutes to do a full rotation. Now that he's passed, it takes 3 to 4 minutes to get back here.
Look, last time we were here, crit happened. So I'd like to try to take the tactical approach this time, if possible.
And what would that be?
Then I'll go up to Smoot, go, please work. And he touches him, and he will try to cast a spell on Smoot.
Finavir walks up, touching Smoot's back very gently and gingerly. And Charles, you feel as this very small spray of energy kind of washes over you and almost envelops you.
And what are you doing?
Getting us past. Let me focus.
What does focusing look like for you?
Finavir, what is it that you are attempting to cast?
He will try to bend the light around Smoot to make him invisible. 1 creature at a time, duration 10 minutes. Makes it undetected to all creatures. If the target uses a hostile action, the spell ends after the hostile action is completed.
Okay. Hey, Finn, I don't mean to alarm you. I can't see my hands.
And if you can't see your hands, neither can they.
Okay, good. So you didn't just make me... Well, I guess I wouldn't be blind because I can still see everything else. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know where I'm walking.
And this is when Charles Smoot's 11 in stealth would come up. He kind of bumps into the wall.
If I toggle visibility, can you still see your character, Jaden? I mean, you can't see him either. Isn't it great? This is great. Can you see yourself, Quentin?
No.
You can't?
No, I cannot see myself.
Well, that sounds more accurate to me.
And I don't know where I'm moving.
I really hope Finn has the item in his inventory. I think he does. If he doesn't have rope, this is going to go poorly. He does. He'll take out a small bit of rope, put it in Smoot's hand.
So you're feeling his body and reaching down for his hand. You accidentally touch his butt for a second.
Oh, hey, watch where you're having.
I can't. I literally can't.
Oh, that's a really good point. Okay, why are you handing me a rope?
So we don't lose each other.
Doesn't that defeat the purpose of being invisible?
No, watch. And he'll turn himself invisible. And since they're both holding the rope, theoretically,
it's in both of our inventories, so we possess it. It is invisible with us.
Did you know when light goes through your eyes, you can't see anything and you're blind?
So you both are holding a rope and you're invisible. You have about 10 minutes to your name right now.
Yeah, because once this is over, it's over.
That is how spell's duration works.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's move it. So time to move. I don't know how long this will last.
Okay, well, just as long as you can keep up with the old geezer, follow me.
I would love to listen to the podcast of the
boy.
alternate timeline where we refuse to cast stealth the entire mission.
Oh, roasted. Be careful, lest you be spotted. Contested perception check.
Charles Smoot, as you step over the threshold of the gate, you see as this red guard begins walking by, and you halt almost immediately. With bated breath, you wait, and they seem to stop for a moment, kind of look around, look right at you, and then turn and continue walking.
All right, I guess we move into the hallway then.
And Finn just, and Charles just tugs on the rope to indicate we should continue moving forward.
Yeah, that is the way we should communicate. I agree. Finn will follow the advice of the rope. The rope knows best.
The rope knows the way.
It zoomed in on someone important.
As you begin approaching to the place where you remember your party members being, you stop for a moment because you realize that it seems as if Kelsey is in the topmost cell, but not where she was before. And it looks like she is directly across from where the guards were playing cards previously.
Charles Smoot will peek his head around the corner to see if there are currently any guards sat at the table, or even more so immediately in the room to his left where all of the contraband was being kept.
Charles, as you get closer, you see that there seems to be a guard that is patrolling almost directly outside of where Kelsey is currently, and another guard situated at the table, facing her direction. Though it seems as if these individuals are just kind of biding their time, it does seem they are a bit more wary.
I don't know about heavy stealth, man.
So we're going to break into Russian stealth?
Let's find Valen first.
Okay, sure. Yeah, let's find everybody, and then we can double back and cause a plan.
It seems this front area that you're trying to walk through currently is very well patrolled and somewhat busy right now. You could attempt to walk through here, but you risk yourselves doing so.
Do you have sleep now again?
Technically?
What do you mean technically?
I mean, I have the spell.
Uh-huh. What's your problem with the spell?
I mean, it's a save or suck, which means you better be praying.
You could continue exploring the area to see if you can locate your other companion, or you could attempt to do something now, but you don't exactly have the full picture, it seems.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
I want to keep exploring. I'm just trying to figure out what you have at your disposal, lest we do get into a situation.
So, if it goes off, they fall asleep for a minute. Anyone that succeeds. If any one of them don't go down and see the other one go down, I think that's it. They could wake him up, and everything could fail.
We just grab that individual. Wait, you can target multiple people?
It's 5-foot burst.
Oh, let's just observe how the guards are maneuvering for like a minute.
Would you like to move out of their path?
We'll go around the corner and just watch from the corner.
Finavir, the guard that has been patrolling the path is continuing to patrol the full long paths of the hallways, and this person seems to be walking straight towards you as if they're about to walk into you.
Right. Dodge out of the way.
You can roll a reflex, certainly. You can see that the path that you guys are currently standing in is the path they have been walking.
All right, for the ladies and gentlemen at home, last time we were in this position, everything went horribly wrong. Let's find out whether or not we do it again. Survey says, drum roll please, 33.
Which way do you go, left or right?
East. And I guess he would instinctively let go of Smoot's rope.
You let go of the rope, jumping to the side. The rope falls to the ground, still invisible as it is connected to Charles Smoot currently. However, it seems to be in this guard's path, and they trip for a moment, stumbling briefly, but continue walking, looking confused as they do. Charles, the guard, seems to almost walk straight into you, but you are up against the wall. It seems that this is the path that they are taking through, which is between the pillars, but right up against Kelsey's cell initially. What would you like to do?
Well, I see 3 guards on the opposite side of the room. I'm going to stay on this side of the room.
You can see that they are just patrolling this area in general, occasionally walking up to various parts of the cells, just looking around at things, seeming slightly bored. One of the guards seems to go over to his buddy, hangs out for a moment, has a chat with him, grabs a drink, takes a swig, and then moves back into the central area.
Finn doesn't know how to find Smoot anymore, not without alerting everyone else.
And we have no way of communicating without alerting everybody else. And we have no plan. And we can't communicate without alerting everybody else.
And I couldn't even cast a spell, I don't think, to rectify the situation if I had one without verbal components, which would alert everyone else. He can try to feel around for the rope. Can he find the rope?
Roll a perception check. It is currently invisible, but if you're searching, it is invisible.
Blast. Well, Finn's going to break off and explore to the room to the right, where all our stuff was last time.
You enter into the side room where you remember all of your stuff being stored previously. You can see that there's a pile of clothes on the floor, and also that there are several chests, 2 of which are on the floor, locked. But there does seem to be some items of food as well in the area. You see there is a small basket of bread, but you notice there's a door back here to the far wall.
Only because it poses a threat. He's going to go up to the door first and listen at the door.
Sounds good. You approach this door, put your ear to it. Go ahead and roll a perception.
26.
Feeling the door, you can tell that it has bits of iron all over it, and you can even see it visually. And putting your ear up to it, you can barely hear anything through it. It seems like it is a very solid door, and you don't hear anything actively behind it. It doesn't even sound like there's any torches or anything that you can hear. And the door itself feels somewhat cold. You kind of knock gently against it just to see if you can tell what might be behind it. That seems like something Finavir might try to do.
Yeah, some form of touching the door.
Yeah. It seems like there's definitely a smaller empty space behind it.
We'll see how bad this is. He will attempt to carefully and quietly open the door.
Go ahead and roll your stealth as you try to open this door very carefully, just to peek through, I assume.
Yeah, 16.
The door creaks slightly as you open it and look through. You can see that it is a hallway with a set of stairs going up somewhere. But as you open this door and it creaks a little, you hear kind of like a voice from beyond the wall, which seems to be coming from where the table was.
Huh? He will shut the door and move down and wait for a sec.
You pull the door shut, kind of just gently, very slowly, and you manage to avoid it creaking again as it closes, almost without making a sound.
Must have been the wind.
Now, Charles, what are you doing?
Seeing as this area of the prison cells seems to be very heavily patrolled, Charles is going to double back and go the other way, as he knows that this is kind of one big loop, so he wonders if the north end is heavily patrolled. Perhaps he could go by the south end and get a new perspective.
Certainly. You begin making your way there, tugging on the rope as you've already indicated that that's your way of signaling. But as you do, it feels loose. You feel it dragging on the floor a little bit.
Damn it.
You see the guard that has been patrolling along the path continuing down there, straight and narrow, yawning a little bit as you can see that they tilt their head back underneath their helmet, putting their hand up. Roll a stealth check for me.
23 for Charles Smoot.
And you begin moving leftwards down the hall. But as you do, you hear as a soft, mellow cry comes out from behind you. And you see as there is something that is trotting up behind you along your path. And you see this small feline creature with black fur and white stripes and distinctive purple eyes. It comes up to you and begins rubbing up against your legs as you are walking. It seems to know exactly where you are and also how to get under your feet but not get stepped on.
This is so funny to me on many levels. This is what cats do. Animals have heightened senses. Cats, lore-wise, can see ghosts.
True.
And the guard who's been making their way around just sees this cat, just looks at the cat. The cat just sits down, tilts its head, and looks at the guard, who just continues walking by, looking down at the cat quizzically.
Oh, they're dodging you because they don't want to step on the cat.
Yeah. This is a superpower.
They're the baddies, but they're not monsters.
You just kind of hear as this guard walks by, just don't get near the toad cages, cat.
Charles Smoot will continue to walk his way around with his newfound feline companion
Roll an acrobatics.
to not step on the cat.
And do you think the cat is Finn for some reason?
Why would I? What? No, I don't think it's 23 on my acrobatics check for Charles Smoot. Not even going to entertain the question.
You see as this cat begins swatting at something behind you, and you feel it.
It's the rope. It wants the rope. It's fine. We'll keep the cat for now, guys. It'll be a great distraction later when we need it.
We do get cat memes in the future.
And Charles, as you're walking by this area, you see two Toda that seem mildly injured from their bout with you, probably, in the left-hand side in the upper cage. They look like young adult ones. To your right, you see that there are another set of cages which contain bits of hay, and another one that seems like the gate is currently open down on the right-hand side, and you see that there's like a wheelbarrow in there, and it smells strongly of dung. But you hear the low, trolling growl of something further down.
Charles Smoot will continue to make his way downward, as he knows he only has a limited amount of time.
You can make a perception check.
20 on Charles Smoot's perception.
You swear you hear the sound of Valen's voice coming from up ahead, where your eyes are gravitating towards on the bottom right-hand corner.
Quentin, the curmudgeon something-year-old not biology teacher, move your 57-year-old biology teacher down to visually examine the area.
Oh, half a million!
Okay, so you move forward a bit. You see Valen in the cell below. He seems like he is chained up currently, and he seems to be just humming to himself.
So what I've learned is that they value Kelsey more because she is more heavily watched. Either that, or they perceive her to be more of a flight risk for some reason.
Either that, or they realize she's a lady and he's a guy, so they can just do whatever.
They don't have windows. It's the next best thing.
So the problem is Finn needs to be here.
However, Charles Smoot, you do see as there is a large Toda in the cell opposite of where Valen is, which seems to be just sitting in this giant pool of water, just staring right at him.
That's just Drake. He's fine.
Perhaps they were more thinking the Toda would be a decent enough threat to someone.
Well, Toda can't get out of its cell, so that's stupid.
The cat just begins moving around you, rubbing up against your legs.
Mira, they put you in the game.
No, this cat's not fat enough.
You're famous.
Look at those cold, unassuming eyes.
Yeah. Mira's like,
looking
what's
for
new?
something to eat. Is that a whole, trough of fish?
Where? Yes, that's a whole trough of fish.
I go up and I pick up one of the fish?
All right, you walk over. And I think I'm going to hand over to what Finavir is doing. Finavir!
It's the Finavir show.
It's the Finavir show on the opposite side of the map.
This time on What's in the Box.
What is in the box?
It seems that the boxes are both locked.
Well, it's a good thing I bought a lockpick set.
Oh.
Time to finally put that disabled device to work. And by disabled device, I mean thievery. A hero's best trait. Don't leave home without it.
All right, go ahead and pick that lock.
And lockpicking, go. So that's an 18.
It seems that this lock is besting you right now. You could spend more time going at it.
I think he'll just move to the other box and try that one.
Okay.
And see if his luck's better.
So far in game time, Charles Smoot, you have been moving for about 6 minutes on your side. And Finavir, with your actions, you have spent 4 minutes. You're 2 minutes behind him.
All right. And I try to open the other box with the lockpicking, presuming it's locked in the first place.
You can see it's like a padlock, so you can definitely tell that it is locked.
Okay, that would help. 23 is slightly better.
You feel as one of the pins inside of this simple lock move, and you realize you need to spend a bit more time to unlock it fully.
And spend a bit more time, he shall. 18 again.
You feel as you can't quite get the next pin. You're having to focus so much on getting the first pin to stay as you're trying to adjust the other ones. But time is of the essence, Finavir, and you do not know where your Charles is.
Well, we're not going to leave without the stuff, and unless we're using heavy stealth, Finn's got to open these boxes. Otherwise, we're going to have a repeat of the church.
Could be.
He's got to go again. 16.
You are still having difficulty with this second pin. Or maybe it's the lockpick set. You're not sure. Maybe you got swindled.
He's feeling swindled right now. Let's see how long this takes. 29.
You feel as you move the second pin. And you understand that if you get this last pin, you're golden.
Almost there. 20.
You feel as the last pin pushes out of place, and you unlock it, pulling the padlock off gently, gingerly, and you attempt to open the lid.
Do I need to make a stealth check for that individually, or is it not particularly creaky?
You might want to roll a stealth check, because you don't know.
Fair enough. Next thing I'm getting is a can of oil.
Things do be creaking on you.
26.
You open this lid with ease, just carefully lifting it a little with your fingertips and then sliding it under just so you can peek inside. It seems you've selected the correct chest as it contains your allies' remaining items.
All right, so he'll try to start picking them out of there.
Certainly. You gather up their things, the few health potions and weapons that they had. Another minute passes.
He has no idea what's up north and left. So that's scary. He's a little more familiar what's down and south. If there is a bunch of people there still, he's gonna try to maneuver his way through there, despite the risk.
Charles Smoot. The party has been split. This seems like a very usual occurrence.
It does seem kind of par for the course.
You pick up a piece of fish.
And give it to the cat.
The cat looks at it, tilts its head, flicks its tail, and turns away, sitting back on the ground.
I thought that was going to be nice and do a good deed. Look, granted, I guess if it's already out in the open and you're wondering about, you could have just...
You can tell that this fish kind of has an odor to it, mixed with the scent of Toda, which is not very pleasant.
I keep the fish with me. What if I need it as a distraction?
You're going to slap somebody with a fish?
You never know.
The cat begins weaving her way between the bars of the cell of the Toda, as you are just standing by the fish. You hear as the Toda itself grumbles a little bit, rising slightly from the pool of water, sliding forward a little, its tongue flicking in and out.
I know where my Valen is. Problem is my Finavir isn't here to get my Valen out.
What would you like to do? You could attempt to try and find your Finavir, regroup, and maybe discuss an alternative plan now that you kind of know where your allies are.
I'm assuming those are your only two casts of invisibility for the day?
Charles wouldn't know.
Yeah. I mean, Ben is only hoping that he has more at this point.
Charles just knows that Finavir's been going through some, MDF.
That's true.
Magic puberty.
It hits us all at some point, or never.
Is it magical function disorder, or is it magical dysfunction? Disorder function? It's MFD. Magical function disorder, right?
Well, no, so it's erectile dysfunction. So it would be magical dysfunction, but it shouldn't be two. It shouldn't be three letters. It should only be two.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we'll call it MFD.
Yeah, no, it's ED, erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, so it's just MD, which is
yeah,
Maryland.
but you already called it MFD.
Yeah,
magical function disorder.
What does the F stand for?
Magical disorder.
The cat just kind of hops across the floor, makes its way over to Valen's cell, moving in between the bars, goes over and sits in front of him.
I mean, I have to. The president of the opportunity is here.
Valen, it's me.
He He was about to... I mean, you can absolutely attempt to do so. You are on the other side of the room.
I would see this out, try and move a little closer and pretend that the voice is coming from the cat.
I don't know why that's not what I didn't think that's what you were doing.
Oh, yeah, no, that's what I'm doing. The cat walked up to Valen, and I'm saying, Valen, it's me.
So you do this, and I think it's really funny that as you do it, you hear the sound of the guard getting closer just as you say this. And Valen does answer, "What the hell is a talking cat?" I'm hearing things. The guard just walking by. It's been 2 days. It's really not that bad. You miss your girlfriend that much? And just continues walking by. Don't give me hope.
I wait for the guard to pass a little bit further up the hall.
I'm here to break you out.
The best part is the deception was like a 15, so I need to roll his belief. He looks up and looks around very confused. Charles, are you here?
Call me Mr. Whiskers.
You're not the cat, Charles. Where are you?
Vin did some mumbo-jumbo, and now I can't see me, but I don't think other people can either, so it's kind of working out all right.
Is there a cat? What?
Oh, I don't know. He just really likes the rope that I have.
What?
The rope that I have?
And I wiggle the rope a little.
The rope hits up against the metal bars, and Valen looks very confused. I don't see anything, Charles. How's Kelsey? Is she okay?
I don't know. She's in a prison cell. How great do you think she's doing?
Well, hopefully better than me. I mean...
How are you doing?
Well, they haven't fed me.
Well, I mean, it's only been like 2 days. Stop whining.
Yes, but I'm hungry, and the only thing I smell is the scent of rotting fish.
Oh, you want some fish?
No.
I throw a fish in there.
You see as he gags a little. You see as the cat also kind of turns the head up and away.
Who's...
And you swear you keep hearing like this actual like pitch sound that is a harumph almost.
Wait. How restrained to that wall are you?
Currently, my wrists are shackled, so you hear the footsteps of a guard getting closer. The guard seems to stop momentarily, looking in at the cell. Talking to the cat, eh? Well, don't worry. Revenant will soon have orders on what to do with you. The guard continues walking. The guard has moved a decent distance away now.
Could you get up to the, cell if I were to shove a guard up there? And then you could, stab him with, your icy knife or whatever?
See where I am right now?
Yeah.
That's as far as I can get.
Can we get any further?
I could lay down on the floor and reach with my toes.
Don't you have any, can't you, freeze the chains or something, Mr. Iceman?
Not currently, no.
What do you need?
My hands to be free.
Well, I can't help you with that.
Right. Great. So you're useless. Cat. Where's Finn?
Oh, I don't know. He dropped the rope, and that was our only way to communicate.
Well, can't he pick the lock or something?
Why, if I knew where he was, sure.
Well, maybe you can find the key again. I know they took it and put it somewhere, but I don't know where.
There's only one key. So, if I bash that guard's skull in, he's not going to have a key.
I think the jail master, whatever they call them, has the keys.
Know what he looks like?
No. I just have heard the keys jingling occasionally, and there was another voice. Just have to be careful. There is a rotation of guard that occurs occasionally. I haven't been here long enough, though, to really know when. Everything changes over. From what I can tell, though, they do it midday and in the evening. Quiet. I do just like the fact that, there's a guard, and it's constantly coming every few minutes. Charles, as you're having this conversation, you can kind of feel Finavir's magic waning. You see as the rope on the floor kind of begins to appear, slightly visible.
Oh, I'll be back.
All right.
And Charles Smoot begins making his way back up northwards.
Charles begins making his way. Finavir, you were over in this corner for a while, but what were you doing? Because I know you said you wanted to look.
Oh, as soon as he got the stuff, I think Ben would just kind of try to sneak past the guards. even though the guard's there.
You do see that one of the guards is just kind of meandering about, just taking a look around the area. And you see another one of the guards that was patrolling around the lower half earlier. Is just kind of standing in front of Kelsey's cell, leaning up against the bar, kind of doing like a pose with his hand on his hip and one arm against the bars.
Hey, how's it going?
Right. It's going as it could be. You see your cell that you are in to your right-hand side, and you walk past the area where the other guard was sitting at the table. He just seems to be holding a cup and just sipping on it occasionally. You hear a few complaints of,
Ugh, I'm so bored.
You will walk past, briefly look at the toilet, repress memories.
your favorite fly is there too.
Jiminy.
Jiminy fly? As you walk down towards the base, you see that there seems to be an old torture rack just below where your old cell was. Perhaps it was meant for you, or maybe the person that was in your cell before.
Lassie, you good so far?
You're good so far.
Remembering the first time that Smoot was held back?
And I will say, Finavir, you got held up a few times trying to pass through this area. Also kind of looking around to see if you can maybe find that key. Perhaps it's there, perhaps it's not. You go to the area where Kelsey and Valen had been previously. You do not see Valen here.
Really hope he's okay.
Go ahead and roll a perception check. It's a little dark back here, not completely without light. It's just kind of dim and dingy, so it's hard to see if maybe there is a key.
19.
At a glance, you definitely don't see a key anywhere. You can tell that these cells haven't really been cleaned well, but there is no key in any obvious location.
All right, so time to check some hidden ones. And I think I got a workaround for lockpicking this cursed lock in front of me. I just won't lockpick it. Instead, I'll use prestidigitation to lightly move the things around. Try to search that way.
You're moving these things around. Without the dexterity of your actual fingers to feel, you're using only your vision to kind of hopefully catch a glint, a literal glint, of the key.
Yeah.
But the only glint of silver that you see are the spoons and fork. The spork, specifically, because they wouldn't give him a fork. What kind of idiot would do that? The spoons and spork that you see on the plates. You lift them up with some hope, and then that hope is dashed as you gently lower them back down.
All right. On to trying to check.
Yes. The poop bucket.
I mean,
the bucket you know well.
Where do you hide things besides the place that no one wants to look?
All right.
Without sticking his hand in, he could even try to float something up from within. What do we find today? Are you ready to describe what we find and don't find?
You lift the bucket up and kind of like try and maneuver it with prestidigitation. And you see that it is empty. Lifting it up as well, you see that there is nothing on the floor. It is possible that the key might have already been picked up.
Well, it was worth a check. So I guess he'll continue on his way around.
Certainly. Finavir, you try and make your way around below. You roll a perception check as you're going through this area.
Natural crit for 32.
You hear Charles Smoot's voice as he says, "Sorry, Valen, gotta go." And Finavir, you feel as your magic begins waning.
Uh-oh.
You swear you see the tips of your shoes.
Moving a little bit quicker, he will continue towards the voice.
You see as you're walking by this lower room, there seems to be a group of 3 bodies currently covered with blankets as you walk by this other cell.
Please don't be Valen. I don't think I can handle that today. Continue towards the voice.
And as you approach towards where the voice was, that was definitely Charles, you see Valen in the cell. He appears to be chained by his wrists. He's kind of in the middle of the cell on the floor, just looking at a cat who's looking up at him. But then you see as the cat's eyes dart towards where you are, and it hops through the bars up to you. begins rubbing its neck against your legs. You hear the sound of a guard approaching closer.
Like, hold his breath.
You swear you can see the magic beginning to fade up your shoes
Starts to
slowly.
hide his shoe behind the cat.
The guard seems to walk by, not noticing you at this time.
Balin, it is I, the cat. I am here to rescue you.
Yes!
Finn, why do you and Charles both choose to do this right now? Where'd he go?
I don't know. Finn will speak as he tries to pick the lock.
From what you remember, this also seems to be a simple lock with a set of pins that probably require a few moments to pick, but you can attempt to do so.
Well, from crit success to critical failure.
Oof. As you try to maneuver the first pin, you realize this lock is a bit rusty as your pick snaps inside of the lock. You see as it becomes visible as your hand pulls away and the pick itself is kind of jammed inside of the lock. You could probably remove it.
He will try to remove it. It's not this again.
Right, great. Okay, Finn, go and find Charles before you get yourself killed. Or caught again.
You remove your broken pick, which you hold in your hand.
This time, when I give you a key, don't lose it.
I'm sorry.
He stops talking as the sound of footsteps draws close, and this guard just walks by momentarily, just looking at Balin, and then continuing onward.
I'm sorry, I didn't lose it. You threw it at me while they were arresting you. And then they beat my face in. So, maybe you don't throw contraband at me while being arrested. Finavir, swallow it next time. At least shit it out then.
That is a much better idea. Dang. I'd be so cross with you if I wasn't impressed.
You think about it for a second, and you realize, wait a minute, what if that's why the key was in the poop bucket in the first place?
That's how you get illegal contraband in prison.
Finavir has never dealt with the illegal contraband. For some reason, Balin knows way too much.
Finn, I can see your shoes. Are you suffering from MFD?
That sounds like a conversation for another time. I have your stuff.
Great. I am currently shackled and I can't move very well. If you could throw it in here, I'll try and grab it, but I can.
He kind of lays down and reaches his foot out.
Just try and toss me something. Rapier, whatever.
Sure. He'll carefully float in the rapier behind his foot.
He pulls it in towards himself, adjusting over top of it.
Right, at least I have that now.
Well, I can either try to pick the lock. Well, we're not getting out of here without a fight. I'll just go find Smoot.
You have a few options here. You could try and create a distraction. I mean, there are Toda here after all. I know that the Jailmaster, there's a whistle that they use to control it, or you could get a key.
Yes, a key.
A key.
That sounds very helpful about now.
Yes, I know.
Do you know who has one of those?
The Jailmaster.
Yeah, what does he look like?
All I know is that when there's a changing of the guard, there's a door that opens within this area. I just don't know where it is. I haven't been able to see it.
And that's the quarters of the Jailmaster, you think?
All I know is that when there has been a changing of the guard, that a door opens. It was opening when I was over on the other side. I got moved here yesterday, so I've only heard it once. It's further away from where I am now, so I don't know exactly where the door is. If you have Charles with you, you know it's going to end up becoming a fight anyway, so you might as well just embrace it and kill a few people.
I don't want to kill everyone.
Okay. You don't have to...
I'm going...
To join me? Again?
I will see you again, but sooner this time. With trouble. Be ready.
All right. He kind of adjusts his hands in the chain.
Ready, as I'll ever be.
All right, northward we go.
Finavir, as you begin kind of moving quickly down the hallway, you see as the cat is chasing after you, swatting at your shoes.
Ignore the cat memes.
I can't. The cat memes are too strong.
They're very powerful. It is a potent genjutsu she applies to us, I know.
Not too cute. You're going to jeopardize this mission. Fan, up here. Okay, fair enough. But to do?
Finavir, you exit underneath of the entryway. And as you do, you feel as your magic kind of just poof. And you're now fully visible.
Great. Back to square one.
You literally are.
But this time with knowledge. Meow. And a cat.
Okay, you know what? Have a second. Finn's gonna go pet the cat.
All right, you pet the cat.
Achievement get.
You feel a warm sensation, an almost calming presence just envelops you. You feel at peace.
No, for some reason I'm significantly less stressed than I was a moment ago. Have you ever had a cat? No. Another time. Anyway, so, things we know. We know Ghelfi and Valen are still alive. They're both in different cells, and I broke my lockpicks.
Oh,
I have the stuff.
We now know. We collectively are now on the same page about that last fact. I was caught up to speed until that point.
Yeah, by the way, that lockpick is in Valen's cell.
Finavir. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I have a hairpin, but it's a lot trickier.
No. We're gonna find a key.
Well, I have some good news and some wild guesses.
I love this.
So, just the jailmaster has the key.
Yes,
which means
that is
there's
what
at
we've
least
been
one
told.
key. And a door open. Every
Jailmaster has
time.
the key.
This voice comes out of nowhere.
I look at the cat.
Did you hear exactly what I heard?
It depends.
Exactly what you heard.
Finn hasn't stopped petting the cat, but every other part of him has paused, including his brain.
Does it repeat what I say?
No.
I think it likes you more. Do you like Finavir?
A grumpy old Smoot. Cece, is that you?
No, I don't think the cat's Cece.
You don't think that's cat Cece? It talked.
Okay, and you made us turn invisible.
The jailmaster has the key.
Do you know where the jailmaster is?
I think he's in that. The only.
Shh, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the cat.
Oh, okay.
The cat just looks at you. Its purple eyes blink very slowly, one at a time.
Do you know where the jailmaster is, little kitty?
Roll the diplomacy.
Can Finn aid another with good scritches?
Can I roll a nature instead for a cat? 26 for Charles Smith's diplomacy?
Sico te llama.
Wait, no, I took Spanish once. I had a Spanish-speaking student named Juan, or maybe it was John. Or maybe Juan means John in Spanish. I'm not quite sure. Cinco te llama.
Cinco is 5, and Yama is you. So you're 5 years old.
It's about as much as I understand. Wait,
No.
he's still Spanish?
As you hear this language, it definitely, you're thinking Spanish, but it's not a language that you've ever heard before. It could be gibberish for all you know.
The language of cat.
You know something we want. Is there something we could get you, kitty?
I know something you want.
Is there something you want?
Hmm.
Well, this is not very helpful. Finn, you try with the cat.
Finn is just going to spend an entire route just buttering up the cat. Nothing else. Not asking it for anything. Are you cookie? You like screeches? You like this? That?
That is nice.
Is the jailmaster nice to you?
Jailmaster has something you want.
Pretty sure his door is next to the chests where we got our stuff.
Finn, you don't have a good track record of wandering off into areas you don't know. Last time you did that, you nearly died.
Okay. Valen said that he heard a door open every time the jailmaster would come by.
What? Okay,
And
that
there's only
again.
one door.
Okay,
Shh. Quiet. Sylvancy hears something.
oh, it's a Russian cat. Can confirm.
Oh, it's Sylvancy, sorry. Well, Sylvancy's fine too. I'm going to say it wrong every time.
It changes every time.
Sylvancy can help. If you take home.
So Betsy, come with us?
If take home.
Where's home?
Far, far away.
So that sounds like the best deal we're gonna get.
I mean, I don't mind cats. Cats are good.
You feel as this cat, which you assume is a she, just kind of like takes her paws, puts it on you, and starts kneading you, but with her claws.
Okay, maybe I do mind cat. Where is home?
Far, far away.
We would be taking this cat to another country.
That's very presumptuous. Far for a cat could be like 2 blocks down the street.
Okay. Are you familiar with the concept of accents?
Yes.
Maybe I haven't spoken to many cats, but that sounds like a Eastern accent.
Exactly. You haven't spoken to many cats. What if this is what all cats sound like, Finavir?
You ask Valen, he sounds like us.
Also, I know you're not from America, but you can go cross state lines and get completely different accents. Have you ever heard someone from West Virginia? It's a completely different dialect.
I've never heard of a state or a Virginia.
Okay, Shavancy, when we leave...
Shavancy.
I don't know your
We're
name.
getting into like fancy feast territory over here. Shavancy. She fancy.
That's what I said.
It's Sylvanchi.
Oh, Sylvanchi.
Sylvanchi, when we leave, we'll take you with us.
We plan on traveling far and wide. Perhaps we will find your home. If you point it out to us while we travel, you could make it there.
The cat's eyes just blink one at a time, very slowly. There seems to be an understanding of sorts, non-verbalized.
We have an accord.
Meow.
I guess I'll have to trust you on that, bud. So the cat's going to help us?
That is part of the agreement. So, how will you help us?
She hops away and goes into the other room, and the cat disappears from your view.
Okay. On the record, gotta admit, that invisibility thing was pretty cool.
Yeah, I just wish we kind of stuck together like the original plan.
Okay. For future reference, when in prison, don't drop the rope. Got it.
It's a rule of thumb.
I got spooked. I couldn't find you. Got stuff. Let's start showing some of the stuff.
Oh, okay, well, that's good. I like
what
that.
did you do with your time?
I found Valen. I found Sylvanchi.
Oh, you did. Yeah, good job. I might be able to pull off something of that caliber maybe one more time. It took a lot out of me to try just twice. So one of us could try to follow the cat.
We could just wait for the cat to get... We don't know what the cat's doing yet.
Hey, what's this cat doing? No, give me that back.
I think we're going to have keys incoming, but we may need to incapacitate an individual.
You hear some clattering from inside of the room, and it sounds like one of the guards is chasing after the cat as she runs by the entryway that you guys are standing at. There's a guard chasing after her, and you can see she has something silver dangling in her mouth. She and the guard kind of like disappear from view on the other side.
Damn it. It went into the Toda enclosure.
Does it sound like any other guard are coming to help him?
Not right now, but you see as the guard seems to come walking back.
I have to go get the key then.
How quickly could we incapacitate a guard if sleep doesn't work perfectly?
I mean, you use your turn on sleep, and I use my turn on 1 movement and 2 attack actions.
Right, so we go down an ambush.
Yeah, that's the only way. We knew it was going to come to this eventually.
It's the time.
You can kind of hear in the distance as some few of the guards are talking.
The cat took how much from you? Good God.
That's all our weed.
I think they're talking about his money.
I don't think the jail master's going to give you the key. I might as well try at least. I tell him it was like for my son's birthday. All right. Well, I'm going to go and let him know. He's going to kill us, isn't he?
You hear as a door opens and then shuts again. And it seems as if someone has left the area.
Time like the present.
To do what? He doesn't have the key yet.
So I guess we stay here and ambush him in this open hallway as opposed to down the corner. We could drag him like 5 feet. I do suppose like a second guard will show up in like half a minute.
Is the guard who had his money stolen the guard that was making the loops around?
Yes, it was the guard that was making the loops around.
Okay, so there was only apparently 1 guard who was making loops around. The other 3 guards are in the area with the table and where Kelsey is.
Well, now it explains why there's so many guards. If you keep taking laps like that, your thighs are going to be killing you.
Yeah, but it's why they're all tired and bored. I mean, they just keep walking in the same circle like 18 billion times a day.
At least they get their cardio.
It's training. Okay, listen, it's training.
But if you want to, because then we can drag his unconscious body into this bale of hay.
What are you going to do if there's more than one that comes down?
Well, then we incapacitate both of them.
Okay.
There are only 4 guards, okay?
There's 5.
You really do like bringing up bad news, don't you?
You hear as the door down the hall opens again, and a more boisterous voice accompanied by the thinly voiced guard.
I can't believe you called me out here for this. Of course I'm not going to give you the key, blasted fool. We can get your money back. Not a word of this is breathed to Revenant, understand? You're lucky he's not here. Imagine if he was.
And this voice is getting closer as you can actually hear heavy footsteps of a person, accompanied by the lighter footsteps that you've become slightly acquainted with, the guard that had been making the rounds, and another person, presumably the jailmaster. This individual begins walking by.
Hey, listen, man, they are within, as we learned, a 5-foot burst of one another.
The time is nigh.
The time is nigh if it were ever.
You see the man that walks through is wearing a long coat, essentially, of the red guard garb. And he seems to have on half plate as he's walking through and carrying what seems to be a chain on a stick.
Oh.
But that's what you can make out as he is walking by relatively quickly and mildly upset as he does so.
Well, time to make him more upset. Or at least, hopefully, we're very relaxed. Sleep.
You cast your spell, focusing your magic. You feel confident as you outstretch your hand. But as you cast your spell, it seems as if it's not enough. Something about these two just seem
Very awake.
very awake.
Maybe it's because his money was stolen and the other guy's just really pissed at his incompetence. But
There's a strange aura that's almost about them as they look around, shaking their heads. Specifically, the younger red guard. But the jailmaster kind of looks around, wary.
Something's wrong here.
have you ever played Assassin's Creed?
He's going to roll a perception check.
May have to play Assassin's Creed here. They're going to come, look for what just did that, and when they do, we stab them.
You, wait here.
Yes, sir. The red guard seems to obey this command, and the jailmaster seems to begin inspecting the area, walking towards the entryway. He looks out, walking underneath, looks to his left, and then looks to his right, and he sees you two.
Obviously.
Oh, hi!
There's no hi, there's me charging at him with a bastard sword.
It sounds like you would like to engage in a bit of combat. You may roll your initiatives.
Charles Smoot with a 21.
And Finavir with the 20.
Okay, Charles Smoot, it is your turn.
Charles Smoot is going to stride up to this individual. He's going to roll a strike.
Okay, that hits.
Okay.
Roll your damage.
So 17 on the first attack.
That is, for our audience at home, a
Natural 20!
Do-do-do-do.
All right, and the total was a 32, so that does hit.
I would certainly hope so.
Oh my gosh!
That is a total of 40 Juan damage. Coming out of cover, Charles Smoot squares up against his foe and slashing once across the chest, grazing against the individual's armor, but then on a backswing, coming up underneath his armored plates and kind of cleaving deep into his flesh. These foes are sturdier than I anticipated.
Finavir, you get to act first, and then we would go to the actual first turn order.
He will try to run up to, right next to Smoot, draw one of his various daggers. So he'll try out the snake dagger.
You draw your dagger. Okay, so you move up, but as you begin to draw your dagger, he takes this chain and whips you with it.
Oof.
A 27 would hit, I'm assuming.
I would assume.
Finavir, you take 22 damage as this man hits you with this flail. You need to make a reflex save.
33.
Finavir, as this chain hits against you, it seems like it almost wraps around your wrist. You're able to pull it out, and you're going to stab at him.
Yep. 30 to stab.
That hits. Roll your damage.
8.
As you stab with this dagger, you hear a slight hiss, as though something coating the dagger burns at the wound you've created, but he seems unaffected.
Ah, pesky little flies.
Unfortunately, you were not able to subdue this jailmaster. He seems to be quite adept at soaking damage, it seems, and he is going to try and raise the alarm.
What does that mean?
Guards! Get your arses up and get over here!
He screams.
Hey, you raised the alarm.
He raised the alarm. What does that mean? He yells. Finavir, you're going to take 23 more damage as he smacks you across the face with this flail. Go ahead and roll another reflex.
21.
This flail seems to wrap actually almost like around your neck, just holding you in place. You are actually restrained.
I've got him! Hurry your asses up over here!
He's going to try and reposition you, Finavir. He tries to pull you in, and you grab against his chain and kind of pull back. He's not able to move you. Okay. It is now the red guard's turn that was behind.
Freeze! Put your hands up!
This red guard just kind of shouts and seems to adjust a lance in their hand. Charles, they try to stab at you twice, and on the second attempt, you see an opportunity and you step down on their lance and breaking the tip of it.
Nice.
The item is broken. All right. Charles Smoot, you're at the top of the round. And both of you roll a perception check when you have a chance.
Oh, that is a perception indeed. Finavir. His senses heightened by being mortally wounded twice. 32, natural crit.
Charles Smoot, heightened. Senses naturally heightened by age also being heightened. Total 30.
Both of you can see as this jailmaster has moved towards you, there seems to be a necklace that he's wearing on a chain, and on the chain is a silver key, and beside it, a whistle.
Right, Charles Smoot is going to target the jailmaster, and he's going to strike at him ferociously. A 36 to hit, which is apparently a critical. 37 damage.
Are those real numbers?
You can see that this jailmaster that you've hit is significantly hurt by this first attack. And with the second attack, it does hit.
Like it.
Roll your damage.
18.
You cleave through this man's chest until only half of his torso remains standing. The other half just slides onto the ground.
You hear as the key clatters
into the bloody pulp on the floor.
Well, there's only 2 attacks, so I look at the young guy who's standing there. I just point my sword at him. Run while you can.
Roll Intimidate.
28 total for Charles Smith's Intimidate.
You see it as this guard begins moving the other way, away from you guys, screaming for help.
Finn, grab the key. Go get Balin. I'll go defend Kelsey.
Best of luck. Don't have to ask me twice. He will grab the key and the whistle.
What?
The GM is privately rolling some dice.
You hear some shouts from over yonder where the door had opened earlier.
Oh, shit. Stay here, lass.
And you hear as another guard just starts running around the corner.
What's wrong?
He approaches towards you, sees that his jailmaster is dead, and he seems to raise his weapon. Charles, it looks like a gun.
Impossible. They don't have that kind of technology.
He casts gun. Charles, what's your AC?
25.
He fires this gun and it misses. You hear the sound of more guards approaching closer, but it doesn't seem like they are able to get to you at this time. Finavir, it's your turn.
All right, well, you don't have to tell me twice. It is time for Warp Step. Ben will focus his energy into his legs. The air starts to push him forward, an additional 5 foot per movement. And then he moves twice. This costs 2 actions.
Guys, what's going on? Shit, can't see anything.
Raylan seems to struggle in the cell. You hear chains moving.
What's going on? Hello? Is there a fire?
You just hear Kelsey in the cell. It seems that Kelsey has no idea what is going on.
No one's informed her.
She got no cat visitation, no ghosts, nothing. All she knows is someone going around the corner. Oh gosh, he's dead!
It's your turn, Charles.
Stepping over the mangled corpse of his last victim, goes into the more larger open corridor. Turning to his right, he sees where Finavir ran to in order to get Valen and reinforcements. And turning to his left, he sees that there are 4 more red guards.
All right, Selrak, let's have some fun.
Your opportunity to surrender has expired.
Ah! This red guard moves aside from another officer that's right next to him, and he seems to raise one of these guns. And he casts
Gun!
You take 13 fire damage from this strange energized weapon that seems to just shoot straight through the form of Selrak and hit against a wall. You see a little bit of flames licking at Selrak's flesh, but the wound just seems to close back up, and he smiles for you. This guard kind of steps back a little bit, trying to get some distance between you and this little self of his. Monster!
Yes, flee.
You're going to take 12 fire damage as another energy beam of just fire energy just kind of like hits at Selrak. This is puny damage compared to the might that you can portray. This guard begins to try and run past you. It seems like he might be trying to go get help
That sounds bad.
as he is reloading as well. Finavir, it's your turn.
All right, well, there's no sense in not casting it because I'll be striding twice anyway.
Okay, so Finavir, you are casting Warp Step again and taking your next actions to complete running up to Valen's cell, and you unlock the gate. Use the key.
Yep. Well, everything just as you requested, and just as much of a mess as expected.
Right, so my predictions. All right, well, hurry up and get me out of these shackles so I can do something.
That'll have to wait another 6 seconds.
Actually, he would look at you. Drop the key. Can you drop as a free action? You can drop as a free action.
Yeah, of course.
Am has decided you can drop as a free action. Well,
But there's all kinds of things you can drop as a free action. Concentration, items, prone.
he said he can't. Okay, he drops the key. Valen's still chained to the wall and can't get any closer.
Valen reaches with his foot, pulls the key towards him. Okay? And he is going to try and unlock it.
Almost. Wait. Very dexterous, big toe.
Well, otherwise we're just wasting a turn. So you guys finagle it.
My trust is paper thin. Give me the key. Don't lose it this time. I haven't been arrested yet.
All right. You guys manage to get Valen out of the shackles, and the only thing he can really do from there is pick up his weapon. Haha! Congratulations. He's joining the fray. Next round. Yeah, I do like, it's just like having a bunch of... Are you okay?
It's just like 18 billion stormtroopers coming down this corridor.
That's what's going on. Yeah, no, that you're just hearing a bunch of people screaming. It's like Helldivers, but you're the Terminator.
Charger!
And they die so quickly, just like Helldivers.
Oh my gosh, you take 14 points of fear damage.
I'm so scared I take 14 points of damage.
Fire
It's
damage.
fear damage.
Fire damage.
Somebody let me out! Is there a fire? Why are we shooting? What is down here?
Hold the line until he gets back with reinforcements. This is what's happening. You're getting shot. You know, the problem is once it actually gets to your turn and you just like take a cleave action and just cleave through 3 people. These guys are actually the most accurate stormtroopers. You take 11 more fire damage, by the way.
Okay, that's fine.
You're getting shot by the red guard. Charles Smoot, top of the round. You.
He is going to utilize sudden charge to stride up to twice, and then if he ends within range of a creature, he can immediately make a melee strike. So
Well, that's not hard for you to do.
you are just going to see as this giant beast basically just charges full sprint, pivot, turns around the corner so that none of the firing squad can see him any further, and he is just physically in the way of the individual attempting to call for help, and he plunges his blade straight at him.
All right, roll your to hit and your damage.
22.
That definitely hits.
And we're going to do 22 damage plus a d6 of persistent bleed.
And where do you think you're going?
To the bathroom.
Away.
Then we strike a second time for a total 24.
Definitely hits.
Womp womp.
Only 14 damage this time.
We're winning! It's running away! Get him! But they all take a second to reload. And then they go after you.
That's information that could be extrapolated from the situation. They turn the corner, they just see 2 dead bodies now.
Finavir, it's your turn.
Look at that tasty cleave lined up, man.
Quick, back Smoot up. Leave the key with me. I'll get Kelsey, but Smoot needs your help. And you're better than fighting than I am. We don't have time to argue about it. Finn will cast Haste on Valen.
All right, I got this. You go get Kelsey.
All right, Valen runs down the hall past you. One of the guards steps over the corpse of his dead jail master, seeming a little bit more brave as he raises his gun up to eye level and shoots at you. He does hit, and you take 17 points of fire damage.
We got him now, boys. He's on the run.
Hello? Is anybody out there? What is happening?
They all seem to just get a little bit more confident as you have moved past them, seeing that their comrade has been attacked by you, but has survived it. They think they'll be just fine. They fire at you. The rest of them miss. 3 shots fired, and they miss. Charles Smoot, it is your turn.
Fleeing. Yes.
And then he is going to basically attack them in a line until they fall. 23 to hit.
That hits.
And 21 damage.
Still standing. Futile.
24 to hit. 31 damage.
Oh, with the second attack, this man is again similar to the jail master, is cleaved in half.
Join the massive corpses.
You have another attack?
Okay. 21 to hit.
That hits.
16 damage plus a d6 bleed.
Oh my god! He's a fallen staff!
They all fire at you. One of them misses. 2 of these bullets, though, do hit you. You take 2 instances of 13 damage.
Then Zelraf will disappear, receding, and Charles Smoot would shrink.
Well, if it ain't broke,
We bravely run away.
we bravely run away. Yes, that's obviously the...
Well, you gotta run away this way.
Yeah, it's warp step time.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
All right. Finavir, you run with full speed. You're almost there. You can hear Kelsey.
Hello?
So yeah, I'm just going to quietly end my turn right there.
Valen seems to prepare himself from a distance as he approaches up to where you are, Charles. You can see him as he comes up. He seems to have summoned the Athame. He is unable to hit this guard. His Athame missing wildly.
He also suffering from MD.
He is. It's contagious. Finavir brought it around. All right.
You stay there. Keep an eye on the girl. Make sure that monster doesn't get back there.
This is very confusing. Hello? Hello?
Poor Kelsey.
Right, sir. I'm gonna stay right here, and I'm gonna make sure that nobody gets in. Nobody gets out. Just me and the girl.
All right, Charles Smoot, it is your turn.
So Charles Smoot is going to stride and then make an attack against, just each of them. Or he's going to share the load.
I'm going to balance the head of his enemy at the end of this sword.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Oh my
well,
gosh, that's
critical.
exactly...
Critical. Which one are you aiming for?
That was the poor, unfortunate lady.
Okay.
What is wrong with you?
I had to make up for lost time because we accidentally had an additional character. Just Jesus Christ!
You cleave straight through her. There's blood splattered everywhere. Your entire face, like you are drenched in her blood.
Can I get some on Valen too? And just absolute splash zone?
He just has this blank face of, I kind of miss this, but you disgust me.
That was a person. That is paint.
It was a person.
That's another critical hit.
Yeah, so the first hit against the lady was a 31 to hit for a total 53 damage. The second attack against the gentleman was a 29 to hit, also a critical, for a total 56 damage.
No.
No mercy.
You plunge your sword into this man. This is like just watching Berserk, by the way, for anybody that has watched Berserk. It is a bloodbath. It is horrifying, and Valen is witnessing it, disgusted and covered in blood, as Charles just stabs his sword down through this man's body, pinning him to the floor.
Balin, what are you doing here?
I think you have blood in my mouth.
It's not mine.
Finavir, it's your turn. You could prestidigitation the key to Kelsey. Or, yeah, Mage Hand? Mage Hand would be the answer.
I could throw it into the cell.
Oh, we live the glory. Okay, yeah, but now, like, 2 of your other companions are already out and armed. It would be a very different set of circumstances.
So a facially bloodied Finavir arrives.
Oh! Person, that way.
She gestures to the head like,
I know. We gotta go. And he unlocks the door. I got your stuff. As he just lapped this entire place.
yeah. Smoot's killed 3 people. Finn just ran a marathon.
Valen's like, why am I even here? You don't even need me anymore. I feel useless.
all right, Finavir, that's your turn. It's Valen's turn.
Kid, don't lie to him.
Right.
He turns to the other man who is now standing there, his gun shaking in his hand.
Listen here, kid. I really think you should put that down, go sit in the prison cell and take someone else's place, or this man's going to kill you. Or I'll kill you. Those are your options.
He's going to roll Intimidate.
Oh, I have Intimidating Player. I don't even have to say anything. I just look at him with blood dripping down every square inch of my body. 24 on Charles Smoot's Intimidate.
This man just puts down his gun and backs up.
I'm not paid enough for this, so... How you just...
He gestures for you to leave.
Right. That's easy. You kill him, get him bloodied, and we can just walk out of here.
Kelsey.
So, door's unlocked. We go. What about that one? Put your weapon down. Get down. Just get down.
Sit, boy.
This guard just looks at her confused and for some reason just drops prone. And these 2 guards look very confused. The one female that's just lying on the ground.
Why am I on the ground? Okay.
Bill Smoot just like swings his sword at the air, trying to just like get some of the blood off before resheathing it.
All right. In the cell with you.
He's looking at the 2 guards.
I think you're misunderstanding. There's no reason for us to go in the cell.
Really? So you're telling me that as soon as I leave here, you're not going to go alert the rest of the Red Guard?
You know, there's more safer way to keep them silent, and gestures towards a giant pile of bodies.
Certainly. Those 4 aren't going to be telling anyone anything.
You're gonna feed us to the giant pile of bodies?
No, look.
Okay.
You
have
the cell of the sword. We're trying to give you an option. And as we're limited on time...
All right, fine. Just at least lock it behind you so at least Revenant thinks that we were we were. All right, fine.
This is going to be
They go in the cell where Kelsey was.
And we lock the door behind them.
We're safer in here than out there with you. That's what I've learned.
He's not wrong.
You have reunited with your party and gathering some of the things that you find there together. You flee from the underground Colosseum compound. And you do notice that there is an additional member following after your party. This cat, though running off into the night, into the slums of Taija, you seem safe for now. And it seems that is where we're going to have to end this week's episode of the Gate Chronicles. Thank you for listening, Foundlings, to this week's episode of the Gate Chronicles. We're so glad that you joined us, and we hope you'll stick around for next week's episode. But of course, we do want to give a big thank you and shout out to our patrons, Stephen Howland and Jason Lillis, for supporting our podcast. We're so thankful for you guys, and we're grateful, and we hope that you'll stick around. And if you want to support the podcast, there are many ways that you can do so. You can go to our Patreon. You can go to our Discord and come up and, hang out with us and do cool stuff. But beyond that, tell a friend about us. That actually is one of the best ways to help us get discovered and listened to by other people. Yeah. We also want to give a big thank you and shout out to the creators of our music and ambience, Michael Ghelfi of Michael Ghelfi Studios and Monument Studios, for creating all of these wonderful soundscapes that you hear in our ears, as well as the various artists who create some of the sound effects we use. Thank y'all. All right, that's it for me. I guess we'll see you next week on another episode of the Gate Chronicles. And if it's not next week, that's because of the holidays and whatnot, but hey, whatever.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.